I don't know if you could see this here. Let me click on here so I can name there. Do you see what I made your picture?
What is that?
That's Bill Paxton from Weird Science when he gets all fucked up. But I haven't done it yet, but I'm totally going to change your ringtone to...
You like your panties.
So every time you text me, it'll go, I like your panties.
I feel like you get tired of hearing, I like your panties.
I probably will. One night, if you text me about The Bachelor, I'm going to be like, okay, maybe I'll change that. You ready to talk about The Bachelor week fucking 8?
Yep.
I'm excited. What'd you think about it? It was hometowns. We got to see everybody's family.
Yep.
I was kind of surprised there was no big weirdos, honestly.
Yeah. Abby noticed something. None of them had animals. None of them had pets.
Oh, wow. That's really interesting.
Yeah. No, we didn't see any dogs.
Maybe they were rentals.
Could have been.
Like we said last week. Maybe they were rentals.
It could have been.
That is really interesting, actually.
Yeah.
That makes it seem a lot more fake, too, that there is no animals there.
I mean, like, I get it. Like, I thought it was cool that, like, Gabby's dad showed up, but that all seemed fake to me.
Yeah, that was a little weird when he showed up.
Wake up, Daddy's home.
Because like popping out with the signs and running back to the car, like it felt like I get because they were saying because COVID and all that he couldn't be there.
Yeah, because his girlfriend has cancer, but
yeah,
somebody was in that car because he wasn't driving, so it's like who was driving that vehicle?
Yeah, well, honestly, why couldn't he just be there a few days and quarantine? Like he doesn't have to be next to his girlfriend 24/7.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't know. She said that they'd been together for 10 years or whatever.
I mean, Nick and Angela have been together longer than that. She's not next to him 24/7 with his cancer.
Yeah.
So
she's a bad wife.
Yeah, I'm just gonna yell at her. Hey, why aren't you with him 24/7? The Bachelor taught me something.
You should be like, yeah, me and Hess did the podcast, and we've decided that you're a bad wife to Nick.
Oh my God,
you're not with him 24/7.
What's funny is if I'll tell her that, and then she'll tell everybody in the planet, everybody that she talks to that knows that like we'll have a podcast or something, she'll be like, oh, you know what they said about me on the podcast is that I'm a bad wife.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go. Well, I mean, the shoe fits.
Then you should put a TikTok out and just be like, if Angela brings this up to you, just agree and say, yes, you are.
Or text my whole family and be like, hey, if she brings it up, tell her, yeah, you are right, actually. We've been wanting to tell you this, and we've come now that you're a bad wife.
We agree with the Bachelor Pleeka podcast, whatever it's called. I can't ever remember. Sorry about that.
Let me see. What did I write down for this?
I thought it was a pretty boring episode. Like nothing crazy happened. Like nothing, no drama other than sending Serene home. But I mean, I thought he meshed well with all of them, all the families.
Yeah. Although he was fucking scared with Rachel's dad. He was terrified in that moment.
You know, I'm sure I have a lot of questions, and I want to be able to answer any and all of them. And
I do have a few.
You know, it's funny because he comes on and I'm like, wow. I'm like, he looks like a dialed down version of like Tony Soprano.
Yeah, and then his name ends up being Tony.
Yeah, and then they're Italian.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? I was like, oh my God. I was like, but he wasn't that bad.
No, he was actually pretty nice.
Yeah. I think it was painted to be like he was gonna be like the dickhead dad.
Yeah.
But I told Abby last night, he just seems like an old school guy.
Yeah.
Who doesn't know how to express his feelings because he wasn't like taught that growing up. Like he was, you're a man, like you keep that shit suppressed and like, so that's how he came off to me, which is fine. I mean,
I can see that too, especially with his like, I'll shake your hand and pat you on the arm if it was a good night or whatever.
Yeah.
Clayton fucking got a hard on about that when he's like, the dad told me that if he shakes my hand and pats.
I wanted to know if, do you think Rachel's a smoker? Did she smoke like 8 packs before they filmed this episode?
I was wondering, like, was she like fucking going to 800 clubs before like Clayton showed up, and then she's like, "Sorry, I lost my voice."
Despite how I might sound, I'm so excited to get this day started.
Yeah, because I'm like, she had her voice last week. Or,
Yeah, it's been a week. What the fuck happened? No explanation at all. Her voice is just gone.
I guarantee you, it wasn't a week in between.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. They say
so
that,
that's why
but
I'm
probably
like,
not.
But yeah, I'm like, wow. I'm like, where'd it go? And then they went swimming in that river.
Well, yeah. So I got a question about that. Do you think they possibly fucked on their little date? Do you think they because they're making out in the river in their underwear, and then her friend brings up fantasy suites, and she's like, I don't know, maybe. But it was all a little weird where I thought possibly they were banging.
It was, but I mean, there's like crocodiles and alligators and shit in
well,
there.
but after their boat ride, when they went to where they were laying down and making out, I bet there wasn't shit there.
I mean, you think it's just because it's a little beached area that they're just
they got a whole camera crew filming them practically fucking on the beach and stuff like that. So, but
it's possible. It's possible. I didn't think of it.
It made me, the way they were acting, it made me be like, oh, I wonder in the tell-all or in the finale when he's like, I slept with all of you. I'm a horn dog. That maybe he'll admit that. I don't know. We'll see.
I did think it was funny that this wasn't brought up until the after next on where Gabby was like, you have hairy toes. You need to shave your toes. Like. I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't know any guy that shaves their fucking toes.
Yeah, I got some hairy toes. I don't shave that shit.
I mean, mine aren't like super hairy, but I'm not shaving them. Like, no way.
It is a little weird because, like, how often is she gonna be looking at his toes?
Yeah. Well, that's what he said. He goes, I've been barefoot before in front of you, and she's like, I must have just never noticed. But I not that I've ever disliked her, but I like her. I'm starting to like her more and more.
Yeah, me too. I actually do like her.
Yeah.
During this episode, I was like, oh, you know what? She's kind of winning me over. I do kind of enjoy her.
It's funny. It's not necessarily funny. It's interesting that, no one of color made his top final three.
Yeah. I did notice that. It felt with the final people, I was like, one, because of the next ons, I kind of figured she was going to go home.
Yeah.
Because they show us all the drama. But two, I was like, how he's been going, he seems to only want like blonde white girls or tan brunette white girls. Yeah. That's really
the funny thing is it was like we watched this last night.
Mm-hmm.
So it was already recorded, so I was fast forwarding. So I went a little too far for her, and Abby's like, where's her hometown at? So I was like, oh, I'll Google it. And like I typed in Serene hometown, and it was like Serene's thoughts about being kicked off the show, and I'm like, shouldn't have done that. And she goes, what? Funny. And I go, Serene goes home.
Want to shut up?
That's funny.
Oh god damn, I've had gas all day. Toots my goots over here.
Glad I'm not over that.
Jesus. They don't stink, so it's
Oh, that's interesting.
It's just I don't know. I had a Del Taco burrito last night, and I think
sometimes that'll do it to you.
A little gassy my gas, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Gas in the okay. What? But I mean, what do you think? Why do you think he sent Serene home? Like,
I didn't really think about that. I just thought about it and like, oh, I'm watching the show and I can guess she's gonna go home. Because it really did. It seemed like he clicked with every family. I wonder if it really was like I clicked with all of them, but I clicked with her maybe just slightly the least. So you got to go home.
Well, that's kind of what he said.
Unfortunate circumstance.
He goes, I'm just following my heart. Like, I liked all four of you. And I thought it was funny how pretty much all of the families like asked if he has said I love you.
Yeah, which is weird. I felt like he should have been like, hey, I'm not allowed to say that. Because I felt like a lot of them are like, I disapprove because you won't say I love you, but he's not allowed to say that.
Yeah.
So
but he also didn't say I'm falling in love with you.
Yeah, he just said, no, I like him.
Yeah, because it's such an awkward,
I could see a future.
Was it this episode when they were on that beach, and I might have been last week, but anyways, I think it was Rachel, and she said, I'm falling in love with you. Oh no,
it was this one. It was
with
this
Gabby.
One. Yeah,
with Gabby.
Oh, I think they all kind of at the end of all their dates, they're basically like, "I love you."
Cheeseball McGee. and then he was like, yeah, I like you too. And it's like, fuck, that's so awkward.
I know,
like,
he's like,
Christ.
Pats her on the head. Yeah, you're cute too.
Yeah, it's like, it's so weird. So weird.
What did you think about his little jujitsu date that they had?
I would not have been happy about that, but
the only thing I have to say about that, I did judo for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And got so bored I quit.
Really?
I did it with my friend CJ. I got like the whole like gi thing, everything involved.
Yeah.
We would go there and then we'd go get like chicken salads afterwards with his parents.
Oh.
And we did all the stuff. I kept going back and forth. I went to tournaments I didn't fight in them, but I went with him to watch him play. And then that's how he like talked me into trying it. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a whirl. And I did it for a little bit. And there was this annoying kid in the class. They used to always try to fight me. Every fucking time we'd like spar, he'd run over to me and he'd want to fight me. And he was so little that I flipped him one time and I made his nose start bleeding and he got blood all over my thing. And then I don't remember anything else after that.
Wow.
But I just remember he got blood all over it. And when I brought it home, my mom was like, well, how am I supposed to fucking wash that out of a white suit? And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not my problem. I didn't do it. I mean, I didn't make it.
You're the parent.
Yeah, figure it out. I don't know.
You know more than me.
You're the bad mom here now. You're a bad wife. Now you're a bad mom.
Bad mom. But Abby mentioned it. She said that she thinks that like judo professor is a little pervy.
Oh, I can see that.
Some of the positions, like he's like, they're basically in like missionary, and then he's like she has his head in her crotch, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, what? I'm like, you know, like hopefully they took a shower before.
Maybe that's why she was so like excited to go there, is because
possible.
She has some really good memories of being there back in the day with that guy.
It is very possible.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. They brought back the shrimp briefly, talking about it because there was a move called the shrimp, and they're like, oh my god, we can't get away from the shrimp, and that's what everybody's saying is watching the show.
What was that called? What did you call that? And he's like, shrimping, and he's like, oh my god. He refers to everything as, haha, that's been prevalent our entire journey together. It drives me nuts. It just drives me nuts. It bothers me so much. Oh yeah, that's our journey together. This fucking cheeseball smile, fucking chiseled jaw.
One day we really gotta like watch The Bachelor. Either watch The Bachelor and do a podcast while we watch it, or do one right after together, like in person. I feel like that would be so hilarious.
I wonder if we could do it, barring scheduling, like next week or maybe even the finale, where we stream it on Twitch. Oh. Obviously, we can't stream it, but stream us and then we watch it at the same time. Yeah,
that's not a bad idea. We could do that.
I think that would be pretty interesting.
That should be fun. We should plan that out a little more, and that's a good idea actually.
I know. I'm just full of great ideas.
I like that. Did I write anything else important? I did like how Clayton was kind of a little bitch on Serene's date when he was like really afraid of being on the heights, and then it was her turn to go, and she just walked right through it.
Oh my gosh, I'm literally gripping on this thing above me like my life depends on it, because it does.
I think that was staged, though.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, for fuck's sake. Like, obviously he's heavier, but like it shouldn't be that dramatic of a difference. And to me, he didn't seem very sincere about his. I just got like the vibes of like he was acting like, oh my god, I'm scared to death. Like, and then at the end when they're like going to fall off, it's like, bitch, you're connected to a thing.
I know.
Like,
the jumping off part is like the least scary part of any of those things.
Yeah, it's not like you're jumping onto a net free falling.
Yeah, because you're not even gonna fall that fast because you're in the harness. Right. You fall so slow.
Right.
Yeah. No, so I do get what you're saying a little bit there. I was more just laughing at him, but I could see that being a little staged.
Little actor.
Mm-hmm. You dying over there?
Yeah.
Oh, I already talked about the Rachel's boat date that I thought they fucked.
Yeah. Wouldn't doubt it. What did you think about the hot tub in the mountains?
I don't know. I thought it was a little weird, but
I wonder what it took to get that shit up there. You know what I mean? And get all the water in there.
That is true. I wonder. That's a good. I wonder how annoying it is to have to set up all these dates for these people.
Yeah.
I bet pretty fucking annoying.
I would think, but I mean, I'm sure. I know that I'm sure they're getting paid, but still,
yeah, I hope
like you're in a remote area, okay, and then you have it was an inflatable one, and then you have to somehow figure out how to get water up there and in there. Like
maybe they had like helicopters coming in and dropping down a hose, and they filled it up. God, that'd be so.
I mean,
obnoxious.
that seems pretty extravagant.
And you're like, you gotta do all that just so they could sit in a pool for 10 minutes and hang out.
I wonder how much they make, like how much ABC makes like per episode.
Well, let's see if we could
like on an average night of The Bachelor or whatever. Like, I wonder how much they make per episode aired.
They're here. It says, according to Reality Steve, the current standard rate for the Bachelor and Bachelor. Oh, this is for the Bachelor and Bachelorettes. So it says the Bachelor and Bachelorettes, though, they get 100,000. Though we can't know this for sure. What does it say? Oh, so it says certain ones maybe made a little more, a little less, but they make about 100,000. But it doesn't look like I could see how much the episodes can make them.
Well,
I bet that's pretty secret.
But I mean, we figured out they film in 4 to 6 weeks.
That's true too. So that's pretty quick.
So
pretty quick money.
You're making $100,000 in 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, 4 to 6 weeks, making $100,000.
Yeah,
it's not too bad. Month and a half.
Especially your job is to be like, hey, hang out with all these girls that want to fuck you, or if you're the girl, hang out with all these boys that just want to fuck you. And you're like, I'd do that for $100,000, sure.
Yeah.
And then cry in the last episode and be like, I'm so broken.
Okay, you can cry every episode.
It's true. If you're getting paid, whatever. I'll come back every season and cry if that's what you guys want.
Aww. So rude, Penis Parker.
Yeah. Do you got any last things to say about The Bachelor? Anything you noticed?
So. I don't think so. What do you? So one will be eliminated next week.
Yeah.
And then I believe
no one gets eliminated on the tell-all, right? That's just them talking.
No,
I assume.
I'm assuming. I don't think it's the tell-all. It's they said it was something, but I'm assuming that someone will be eliminated Monday, and then whoever is in the finale, who the final two won't be on that.
Oh,
thing.
that makes sense. Yeah,
but okay. I don't know. But that's just where my head's at.
Mm-hmm.
I could be completely wrong, but I'm assuming the two finalists will not be in on the whatchamadinger,
the reunion thing or whatever.
Yeah, reunion or whatever they call it.
Not like it's the same show, but the Tila Tequila dating show that they used to do on MTV is kind of stole all the shit from The Bachelor. They kind of do the same shit. And on that reunion, they did that. They had the two winners like hidden, so you didn't know who won, and then they all talked, and then they announced the winner at the end of that. So it's a little different. But so I could totally see that.
Because I mean, I'm assuming we have 2 more episodes left.
Yeah, it was funny. Taylor was just doing the math because her and Victoria were complaining because they were like, "Oh, there's 5 more total, but 6 for them because they didn't watch last week's at that point yet." But now that they're doing 2 this week as a special, it'll be over soon.
Yeah, I think 1 or 2 more weeks probably.
Yeah, and then we'll be on to the Real World New Orleans apparently.
Yeah. Abby told me that we shouldn't do it, but I said we're gonna. Well, because she doesn't want any shit with her friend and all that. But I just said we're just gonna. I go, we're just gonna do it. I go, but we're not gonna mention we
won't mention her friend's name or anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's in the show, so
no, but we won't mention like.
Yeah.
The connection there, you know.
Yeah.
But Taylor said she's excited. She's like, I want to watch every episode of that with you. That'll be crazy. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. I was like, come on the podcast with me and Hess.
Yeah, she could hop on.
Yeah.
You know? That sounds a little dirty. She can hop on the podcast.
Want to shut up? Wake up, Daddy's home. I had a hard on this morning.
Any last things you want to say to the folks listening or watching?
So. Who do you think will be eliminated next week? Who do you think goes home next week?
Ooh, next week. What's the there's rate? Yeah, Susie. I feel like Susie might go home because it looks like Gabby and Rachel are in a lot of the drama. So using the next ones, I'm gonna guess Susie goes home.
Wow. Okay.
Even though I feel like they have a good connection, from what they've shown us, it looks like she might go home. So that's gonna be my guess.
All right, I'm gonna go with Rachel going home, and it's because her father makes her uncomfortable.
Okay. Every time he sees the father, he wants to.
But it would make sense if he sent Gabby home. Then he would have 2 blondes left.
That is true. He could do something with Gabby because on a few next ons ago, they showed which this could have been editing, so he could have told this to any girl. But he talks to one of them and he's like, I told her a secret and she told everybody and ruined everything. And while he's saying that, they show Gabby. So something could go on and you could be right with that, potentially. I kind of forgot they haven't showed that in a bit.
Who knows?
But
Who cares? We'll see. We'll find out. And now it's Wednesday now, but
No, find out soon.
We will find out soon.
What do you think the chances are of the next Bachelor being this boring?
I don't know.
Oh, well, you know what I didn't know, and maybe you did. I know you said you didn't want to do the Bachelorette, but did you know that it's supposed to be one of these girls as the Bachelorette next time? Like, that's how they do it, is they...
Yeah.
Which, depending on the girl, that could be interesting, depending.
You think they'll pick Shanae?
Oh, my God. I was just thinking it better fucking not be her, though. Who would they, if they, at this season, who would they pick that would make you watch the Bachelorette?
The Olympian.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Yeah.
I liked her. She seems very fun, exciting,
If they announced what if it was Gabby and she's the whole next season? Would you watch that?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess.
Okay. So it seems like they could potentially get you onto the Bachelorette.
It's possible, yeah. I mean, it's possible.
Okay.
But I mean, it better be someone that we know. Like, none of these girls that just showed up halfway through.
Well, I mean, that's why people were mad about Clayton, because Clayton was on like an episode or 2 of the Bachelorette, and then that's how he got here. But that's why people were so pissed off, because they're like, he did fucking nothing.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But all right, so this thing's about to die. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please like, subscribe, check out our Instagram, and we'll be back next week, potentially 2 episodes. 1, we'll figure it out how we go.
We will.
Yeah, but we'll talk about it. Whatever happens on the Tuesday one, we'll talk about it at some point.
That's right, we will.
Yeah.
Even if it's via Snapchat.
Yeah, we'll just Snapchat each other, and then we'll throw that on Instagram. Talk about
That's right. Later.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.